Let's dive deep into the issues that affect our communities, revealing the untold stories and giving you a voice. No sensationalism, no bias, just raw, unadulterated truth. I am committed to delivering news without compromise. Hard facts as we know them, when we know them, and how they affect you. Every Monday through to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. This will be your most authentic news experience starting now on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Are you tired of all the noise and speculation in the news? On Hard Fact, we cut through the clutter and get straight to the truth.
If only Fubra has been aware of the Google trap, he would have understood in democracy there are bases for everybody to do accordingly.
Join us as we bring you the stories that matter. We go beyond the headlines to uncover the real facts and the core of every story.
We are doing this, we are doing that. At the end of the day, nothing good will come out. What did they promise us? They will be in charge of security and life and whatever. But what are we getting in return?
With in-depth analysis and experts interviews, Hard Fact delivers the truth that others dare not to reveal. Tune into Hard Facts every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m. and arm yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate today's complex world. Hard Facts, where the truth always prevails.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
This is Hard Facts.
.3 Nigeria Info. This is Hard Facts, and we're broadcasting live from our audiovisual studios right here in Itimian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. How are you doing, Lagos? Compliment of the season. And like I always say, don't just, enjoy yourself and forget the reason for the season. There's too much partying. There's too much advertising. There's so much subtle, telling you what to do with your money as opposed to actually paying attention to the reason why we're celebrating this season. And that's Jesus, okay? For those of you who believe in Jesus, yes, so that's the reason for the season. 10 minutes gone past the 3 o'clock hour. Let's start off with the big three stories for today. It's the 17th day in the month of December 2024. In a few days, we're going to be saying bye-bye to 2024. Has it not been a very interesting year? I think it has been for me. And for us as Nigerians, there's been a lot of changes, Fuel prices changed in 2 months. We had like 3 different fuel prices and all kinds of things have happened, really. The end bad governance and stroke end hunger protest. Too many things. The tale that, the government of Dubai, or rather the Arab Emirates, had lifted the ban. And then, of course, the backpedaling. And then, finally, they now gave in. Too many things have happened this year. But I would always be here to remind you one thing or the other. Yesterday, I reminded you of that drama between the customs service and the dogs, the number of dogs they feed and how much it was actually when they were trying to defend their budget. Don't forget, Mr. President was supposed to present his budget today, but he didn't. They tell us that they're still, in talks and they decide because they still have some time on their hands. Remember, they also promised us that we're going to have that January to December cycle. We will not have that thing that we had under the Buhari administration. But it looks like that might be truncated with this slight delay. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow the budget will be, presented. But we will be talking about that with the CEO of Nairametrics on Hard Facts tomorrow. But today, Bromate, I hear, is back in our bread. Are they going to kill us now because we don't have money to buy food? What's the problem? Bakers, do you need us to come to all your bakeries every day now? Just keep you on your toes because we don't understand. What is potassium bromate looking for in our bread again? What is it? And it could cause cancer. Why are you guys being so evil though? Anyway, here are the big three stories for today, Lagos. But first and foremost, here we go.
Get ready for the most important news of the day. It's time for the big three stories on Hard Facts. Tune in to our primetime show for the latest updates and in-depth analysis on the top stories making headlines. From breaking news to in-depth investigations, we bring you the facts you need to know. Join us as we delve into the biggest stories shaping our world today. Tune in to the Big Three every weekday, 3 to 4 p.m. and stay informed with the news that matters the most. Hard Facts, where the truth always comes first.
Millions of listeners trust us on Hard Facts. Whether it's politics, social issues, controversies, and trending stories. You know we're credible and objective.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, we're back. Let's look at the big three stories for today. And also, I have something to tell you. See, because the year is coming to an end, I want to just bring some things that'll tickle your fancy. Maybe not in a funny way, but, you know, some things that will make you say, hey, now, wow. Well, Solomon Dalong, the former minister for sports, is in the news. And you would be glad, or maybe shocked, or maybe uninterested, or maybe you would just be laughing like me when you hear what he has to say. But first, let's look at the big stories for today. EFCC's largest single bust, 193 foreigners, 599 suspected Nigerian crypto fraudsters arrested. Now, let me shock you, Lagos. I was there at the scene. Oh, no, I wasn't working with the EFCC. I just happened to be there when the bust was happening. I was driving towards a hotel roundabout, in fact, past the roundabout. I was just buying something at the junction. And I wanted to, go into one of those streets when I was stopped. No. We were packed by the traffic light. And then we saw, these cars trying to, beat us to get into some side. And I was just like, what's happening? And the EFC, one of the policemen got down on the vehicle and said, look, it's a bust that we're doing and you can't drive into this street. And I said, well, we can't even drive into the street. I have to go down the road and get into the next street. And, I saw it all go down, really, because I saw people running, helter-skelter. And I was just thinking that, what, is it the Lagos State government trying to clear people from the streets? And they said, no, it's EFCC and they're busting some Chinese company, down the road. I saw everything go down. The Aproko in me and the journalist in me, I wanted to know exactly what was happening, even though the police officer gave us an idea, but he didn't go into much details. He just said there was a bust. So I wanted to know if it was a drug bust, it was a money bust. I just wanted to know what it was. So we drove round and came to the other side of the street where they were, in fact, they had cordoned the whole street off, while they were taking the place down. They were literally taking it apart. So at that point, I realized that some people were doing some illegal, fraudulent business in that building, a beautiful building, by the way, just off the Eco Hotel Road. It's in Victoria Island. Yeah, I saw it all go down. That was last week, actually. Yeah, it was last week. Anyway, let me give you some details. Well, the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, said he had carried out the largest single-day operation against cryptocurrency and romance scam networks. See, that's the part that got me. So people... Anyway, they arrested 193 foreigners and 599 Nigerians suspected in Lagos. The commission spokesperson, Wilson Wujaran, disclosed this to journalists in Lagos yesterday. Wujaran said the 193 foreigners are Chinese, Arabs and Filipinos, whom he said were nabbed when the commission's operatives busted the gang in a landmark operation in Lagos on December 10. Yes, it was December 10. So when I heard Joyce talk about it, I was just like, oh my God, I was there. I was right there. Coincidentally, I do not work for the EFCC. And I really want to talk to people because, you see, there are a lot of people who advertise about crypto, about online marketing and blah, blah, blah. And I always, take it with a pinch of salt. And I'm not saying that everyone who's in the business of crypto is fraudulent. But if you have ever been a victim of this whole online marketing or online business or cryptocurrency fraud, I would like to hear your story. Share it with us today on the show, okay? The Chief of Defense Staff here is ordering a probe over deaths of Okuama leaders in army custody. Let me give you some background, then we'll talk. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, had ordered a thorough investigation into the alleged deaths of 2 Okuama community leaders while in army custody. Defense spokesperson Tukor Gusau disclosed this at the end of a year briefing by the Strategic Communications Intra-Agency Committee, Office of the National Security Advisor, on Monday in Abuja. The deceased leaders were James Ogroko, the President General of Okuama Community, and Dennis Okubaye, the community's treasurer. It was reported that the duo died 6 days apart while being detained by the military. The duo and 4 others, Otho Ekpekpo, Belvis Agbobo, Mabel Uwemu, and Dennis Malaka, were apprehended in August. They had been detained, I beg your pardon, in connection with the killings of 17 military personnel between the community, or in that community, Okuama community, on March 14 during a peace mission aimed at resolving dispute, they say, allegedly, between the Okuama people and the Okolaba communities. Now, I want us to go back, flashback. Do you remember the conversations we had back to back? I had the Joy Youth Congress leader here. I had so many people talking to us about what happened in Okuama. Till today, no single person is able to tell us what actually transpired in Okuama community before the soldiers were killed, after the soldiers were killed, and now 2 people have died in custody. Will we ever know, get a clear picture of what happened in Okuama community? And will this case be taken as far as the Human Rights Commission, to a court at least, to look at this? Because whether we like it or not, the army has refused to open up and tell us what exactly they did, because those communities were closed down for weeks. Some people were complaining that they didn't have access to water, to food, and that some soldiers were quoted to say they will suffer. And the bigger question is, and I do not support killing of soldiers. You have no right to do that. It's a dastardly act. But taking it up against people, including innocents, because some people were killed and you want to just take it out on the whole community, I don't think 2 wrongs make a right. And the fact that we have really, really glossed over it and forgotten about it irks me. But welcome to the show. We're live on Facebook.com/Nigeria Info FM. We're also live on YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. You could join the conversation on WhatsApp. It's 080-959-75805. You could also join us if you are on Skype and listening from outside of the country. We'd like to hear your 2 cents on this particular stories. We're Nigeria Info FM on Skype. All right, the phone lines will be open in a bit, but here's my last big story. Killer bread. Nigerians risk cancer over the use of bromate, says researchers. It's not my neighbor that is saying, it's not Facebook, it's researchers. And why are they saying this? I'll let you know. For those of us who like bread, even though we know it's making our tummies bigger. But over time, bread has remained a staple food consumed by Nigerians, almost every family across the world, including us here. Now, it has emerged as one of the most popular meal options that can be combined with various things, nuts, seed, liquids, etc., to make a cheap and quick hunger-quenching meal. But bread, which is so popular, in fact, was significant with Jesus. He used it, and 5 loaves and 2 fishes or something. I can't remember. I do read my Bible. Don't look at me like that. Anyway, we're hearing that the unethical and sharp practices of some bakers in this country have made bread consumption an ingestion of daily poison. How, you may ask? Researchers are telling us across many cities that they have found that bread, that some brands, even the popular ones that have been, seen to have potassium bromate in it. And I know that years ago, more than a decade ago, we had stopped. In fact, we had said that any bakeries that were found using potassium bromate would be shut down. I can't believe that in 2024, what is it? Bakers Association of Nigeria, is it hunger? Is it in a bid to make more money because things are hard? I don't understand, but at the expense of what? 0201-277-0993. That's the number for you to call. If you are male, 0201-277-0993. If you are female, 0201-465-7190. That's 0201-465-7190. You could join the conversation on WhatsApp. I would like to hear from you. 60 seconds is all you have. Just go straight to the point, all right? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. Please turn off your radio.
I've done that already. Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, this is the message.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about the bread and bromate. The reason we see ourselves here is because of, they say when the head is sick, the whole of the body is in trouble. Looking at what we are passing through as a people, I don't know the particular agency or organ of government you can point at to showcase an exemplary leadership that will always stand in gap to defend the interests of the people. I think when the agencies that are responsible for checkmating the anomalies and decadence of people in the society are compromised, you will see everybody doing whatever they like. People are even afraid of taking some drugs now. Last week, there was this particular brand of Amozil that people were talking about that was a killer Amozil. Who brought us here? How did we get here? The reason for us to see ourselves where we are today is as a result of, like I said, the head is sick. As much as the head is sick, all the body will be on fire. Thank you
very much for calling. We've got to go on a break, Lagos. When we come back, we're taking your thoughts and your comments. It's still Hard Facts. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We're live on YouTube and Facebook. Post your comments.
This is Hard Facts.
If you love conversations,
where else can you get it? Then, the station best in talk.
That's why education is the main thing. Once you kill education, you can control the people.
Africans just like to blame.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Africa's home of creators, Cloud Africa, presents to you from the streets of Nigeria to the whole wide world. It's the Cloud Talk Concert, Trench Talk Festival. Featuring the incredible DJ YK Mule. His music to the world by storm. It's Cash Coming. Also featuring Ladies Man Shode. And the king of the streets, Batman Nico. Cloud Talk Concert, Trench Talk Festival is taking place on the 17th of December, 2024 at the Balmoral Convention Center, VI. Time 5 p.m. Get your free tickets now at cloudtalkconcerts.com. This event is proudly brought to you by Action Bitters. Cloud Talk Concert. Talk. Just get lit.
Drink responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18.
This is it. The ultimate stage for young minds to battle it out.
The governors are above the law. They tend not to lean on to public participation.
Governors can make any decision without fear of
what remains of a person's identity if it's only measured by external.
The urgency to safeguard life should outweigh preserving cultural sites.
Auditions for the I Beg to Differ Secondary Schools Debate Tournament is on. Do you have the passion, the intellect, the fire that stand above the rest? Then prove it.
The hallmark of any thriving society is in its youth.
So the organization should be planned carefully into the data.
Standardized tests is a recipe for anxiety.
To prove you're the next great debater Nigeria has been waiting for. I Beg to Differ. Auditions open December 12, 2024 and close January 12, 2025. The clock is ticking. Visit www.nigeriainfo.fm now to register. I Beg to Differ. The Tournament of Champions.
Grab your sunglasses, beachwear, sunscreen, and head over to Ziba Beach Resort, where there is a spot with your name on it just for you and your loved ones. To book your holiday spot, visit zibabeachresort.com or call 0704-730-0013. Ziba Beach Resort, Lagos. A beachside Christmas awaits you.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
There's a reason why over 1 million people tune into Hard Facts every day. We discuss in-depth stories with sources behind the facts.
The Lagos State High Court
Sitting
has suspended the Chicago certificate story. It's never going away, is it? Show with stories for the day.
You hear diverse voices and opinions.
And she was meeting the campaign with her husband, knowing that.
You should not be happy because there is nothing to happy about.
Yeah, it's quite pathetic the way the country is going.
We distinguish each story accurately with analysis.
It's Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome, it's still Hard Facts, 99.3 Nigeria Info, and we are live from our audiovisual studios here in Victoria Island, Lagos. And we are looking at the big three stories for today. Potassium bromate is back in our breads, and guess what? It's not just harmful in just any way, it could cause cancer. What are these bakers thinking? I mean, I'm wondering. Also, the Chief of Army Staff is ordering a probe into the death of 2 Okuama community members who died in army custody. Will we ever know exactly what went on in that community, Kolama and Okuama, for all the time that the army shut that community out from us? And who's going to bring the army to book to answer for whatever happened? Of course, some people have to answer for the killings that happened there, but the fact that a whole community in a country where it's a democratic dispensation was shut down by soldiers. There's so much that we need to ask the army if they're willing to answer. And have you been a victim or have you lost your money to crypto fraud? We'd like to talk about it because I witnessed that raid that happened here in Victoria Island last week, December 10th, when the EFCC raided that building. Where some foreigners and Nigerians supposedly were working to rip people off of their hard-earned monies. But as we continue to talk, I'd like to open your mind to something that a former minister under the Buhari administration had to say. Please indulge me, okay? Because the truth is, some of these things, when we say them, they sound very outlandish. But sometimes it's good to hear it from these same people who were in government. Take a listen.
Completely disappointed because, what we told Nigerians was not what had happened in 2015.
So it was a lie?
We lied. We should admit we lied.
To Nigerians?
To Nigerians.
You deceived Nigerians.
We deceived. Even though we use deceive people, the PDP, for campaign, but of course, we were a replica of what we were accusing the PDP of.
Or even worse.
Worse. Not even. Buhari was also used and done.
Who used him?
Buhari's charisma was needed at that point in time by the political elite to eliminate Jonathan. And shortly after Buhari had taken over power, these sets of political elites emerged and hijacked government. And Buhari was a stranger. I can say this at any point in time. Buhari was a stranger in his own government. And I can corroborate this because I went to see the president in 2020 when I was out of office. And I told him, Mr. President, this wasn't what we told Nigerians. And then I have conscience. We campaigned and convinced Nigerians. When I look at the type of investment the common people put in our government, and here we are today with insecurity. When we came in, it was only the Northeast. As at 2020, I told him, It was not possible to even travel from Abuja to Kaduna. And I dared him. I said, Mr. President, if you disbelieve what I'm saying, or what I was saying, please roll out brigade of gas now, and I join you. We drive from Abuja to Daura, and I promise him that if bandits do not attack him, I will go and die in exile. I briefed him about the security situation, about the hardship, and to be very fair to the president, he expressed surprise, meaning from my own judgment, some of the things I said were things he was hearing them for the first time. But I'm not surprised that such has happened. Because even when we were in government, it has happened. It was me who, even at the Federal Executive Council meeting, that informed him when a DSS and EFCC were trigger drawn in Asokoro here for 3 days. They held the entire environment hostage, and the president didn't know. It was everywhere on the press, print media.
But the president, the Buhari that.
Wonders shall never end. 0201-277-0993. That's the number for you to call. 0201-277-0993. You can join the conversation on 0201-465-7190 if you are a lady, except 0201-277-0993. 0201-465-7190 if you are a lady. On WhatsApp, you can send me a message 0809-5975805. Or better still, join me via Skype if you are listening from outside of the country and you want to chime in. Our Skype is at Nigeria Info FM. In case you're wondering who that was, Solomon Dalong, former minister under the Buhari administration, and that video is courtesy of Seun Okinbaloye. He had a podcast show where he invited him on. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Maryann.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robert. I'm calling you from Apapa.
Go ahead.
I want to speak on this bromate. The body that controls the bakers in Nigeria is known as Master Bakers Association of Nigeria. The regulator of all the foods in Nigeria, I think NAFDAC is responsible for that. So
the oversight functions, yes.
So NAFDAC should warn these Master Bakers to tell the bakers to stop using bromate.
They don't need to warn them. They need to do their jobs by checking them unannounced. Yeah.
Thank you very much. As you read this news now, I will stop eating bread from now because I don't have.
Because you can't tell who's doing it.
I don't have the gadgets to know the bread that contains bromate or not until this news die down. That is what I'm going to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Robert, for calling. I do appreciate it. I mean, to be forewarned, it's to be forearmed, right? Is that what they say? Today, my English is not working. Apologies. Do call us back if that was you. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts. What's happening? Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, beauty.
Turn off your radio, please. All right, when you call the radio station, please make sure that you turn off your radio because that way I can hear you and you can hear me. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Miriam.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yes, so I want to talk about this bromate.
Okay.
This bromate, almost more than 1 year now. I've stopped eating bread.
Some of us have to join you.
I don't want to die anyhow. I'm not come like quick. I'm not going to go quick. I don't want to die there. I'll stop it. Since I stop it, I always wash my hand. I know the first sick again. When
Good.
I come inside, I wash my hand.
Good. That's a great practice.
Typhoid, they call them. I'm not the sick typhoid again.
Lovely. Lovely.
I had that tradition of washing my hands. I think sick typhoid again. Malaria.
That's good. That's good.
I stopped eating bread, though.
I'm proud of you. I want to join you. I stopped eating bread for like a few months, but I don't know what the
more
one
than
is.
1 year now. I don't eat bread again.
I'm going to join you. I'm joining you.
I'm not eat again. I wash my hands, take off myself. I don't fall sick again.
Good. I'm proud of you.
Bread. When we say white bread, can you imagine that there's meat inside the white bread?
Hey, God, I beg.
When they eat it, they feel that there's meat. I said bread that is not even properly cooked. You say there's meat. Did they use meat to do it?
Okay.
What for now?
Thank you for calling. I totally understand where she's coming from. Maybe I should. What's today's day? I'm going to commit to not eating bread forever again, because except maybe I'm out of this country, until we're able to understand what's happening. And you see, that's what's going to happen, is that all the bakers are going to be making a loss, because if you're not checking yourselves, and the NAFDAC is not doing its job, and the Master Bakers Association, they're not checking, paying unscheduled visits to one another, and we're all trying to be sharp and fast. Say fast guy, you'll be bad guy. You go soon know. Anyway, so someone saying I'm calling the numbers too fast. I'm going to be very slow. 0201 277 0993. That's for the male. For the women, 0201 465 7190. Does that work for you, Mr. TP? Eh? Hello, welcome to Hard Fact. Turn off your radio.
Maryann Okon.
Yes.
Compliments.
Thank you. Same to you.
Hello. Emeka is my name from Satellite Town.
Go ahead.
I wish to comment on this Solomon Dalong's interview. Podcast, whatever it was. When I read it, sorry, at the pages of the newspaper, I was just laughing my heart out. The reason being that we all saw what happened that time. Whenever Mr. President Muhammad Buhari was asked any question, they say, I'm just hearing it for the first time.
You know, that's the same thing I was thinking, because under the Buhari administration, he was always surprised, always shocked.
Yeah, you're just telling me, I'm just hearing it for the first time. And that underscores the caliber of people he surrounded himself with. Because if you surround yourself with patriots and nationalists, of course, this would happen. Imagine the siege that Dalong reported to him between EFCC and the GSS, right at the heart of Asokoro there. Mr. President was so surprised. And this, what he said, it reoccurs in every government, where you see a few group of selfish, self-centered people hijacking the government and keeping the president ensconced in his own comfort. Meanwhile, Nigerians are going through a whole lot. So when such information comes to them, tell you, they're not aware.
10 seconds.
They're not aware. What were you elected to do in the first instance?
All right. Thank you, Emeka, for calling. Everyone's got 60 seconds. Soon I'll come to Zoom. I'll come to Skype. So Skype callers, in a few minutes, I'm coming to you. Hello, welcome to Hard Facts.
Hello, Miriam. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Peter Monsa is my name from Shomolu.
Go ahead, Peter. Just tell me that you have gotten one Christmas gig now.
In the decision of General Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff.
Yes.
That is talking about looking or investigating the death of those two chiefs. Miriam, this does not go down well with me, honestly speaking. Because last 2 weeks, we got this information from Amnesty International that about 10,000 Nigerians die in the military custody. And then before we know it, this can generate bad blood between the community and the military. And tomorrow, and on several conditions may arise. So I want Musa to please, for the first time, satisfy me. Investigate. Let the investigation get to, logical conclusion.
Okay.
And the culprit must be fished out and punished according to our laws.
All right. Thank you very much, Peter. I do appreciate it. Let me come to Skype. Azu is calling us on Skype. Hello, Azu. Good afternoon. Welcome to Hard Facts.
Good afternoon, Maryann. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Compliment of the season.
Yeah, same here, Maryann. I want to comment on the former minister telling us about how the cabal worked under the previous regime. The previous president might have failed Nigerians, but I just want to remind him that this present administration is doing very well. Please, he should also remember, and he should check very well. This present administration promised emphatically that they are going to continue from where the previous administration stopped. And that they have been doing. So the minister should understand that this present administration cannot be compared to the previous one, because they are keeping truth to their words.
Oh, the sarcasm stinks.
That one stopped. This one is doing very good. They're keeping to their promise. Compliments of the season once again.
All right, Azu, thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. It's interesting. I can smell that whole sarcasm from right here. Well, someone here on YouTube, I quickly want to read it out, then I'll go to WhatsApp, says, a basic do-it-yourself method to test for bromate involves using iodine solution. So so what kind of iodine? Is it the ones you used in labs? Because how do I get my hands on iodine? because the iodine I know, and I can't remember the last time I saw it, was the one you put on, you use when you have bruises. And I don't think anyone has it lying around in their houses. So how do they get, to iodine in the first place? And then he's saying you have to use the solution, which reacts to bromate to produce a color change. However, these methods are less reliable, not as accurate as protesting. Thank you very much. It should be tried. But I'm not sure how many people have iodine lying down somewhere around in their house. AY is calling us via Skype. Let's take that call. Hello, AY. Compliments of the season. Where are you calling us from?
Hey, Maryann. Good morning. Yeah, I'm calling from Texas. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How's it? Is it really cold out there in Texas?
Yeah, it's a little bit cold. Now we're getting a little bit warmer now.
Ah, great. Go ahead.
Yeah. I listened to someone talking about the Buhari's government. I just want to react to the issue of Solomon Dalong. So the caller before the last one was like saying if Buhari has surrounded himself with nationalists or patriots. Look, who is a patriot in Nigeria?
Me?
Who is a nationalist?
Me?
There is no patriot, there is no nationalist in Nigeria.
Speak for yourself, AY. Please. Speak for yourself.
Look.
I am a patriot. I should have been in Texas with you, darling, but I'm here.
Miriam, I know what I'm saying. Look, everybody in Nigeria that is in government, they're just there for themselves. They're not there for anyone.
I see.
They're there for themselves. Look, whatever thing that is going on in Nigeria now is corruption. It still boils down to corruption. We only pay lip service to corruption. We don't fight corruption the way we should do it. The statement that comes out from the former minister, everything boils down to corruption. People go into government just because of what they're going to get from the government, not what they want to do for the people.
Okay. All right, AY. Thank you very much for calling. And do have yourself a Merry Christmas, all right?
You too. Have a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Well, Lagos, I'm going to go to WhatsApp now and read all the messages that are coming in on WhatsApp. And then don't forget, if you are on Facebook, join us. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. I want to read your messages also on our Facebook live feed. So go ahead and post your comments there. But first, we'll make a stop here on WhatsApp. Ken here says, Femi from Ikorodu says, what Solomon Dalung said has just corroborated statements made by Kayode Fayemi recently that they knew Jonathan's subsidy removal from January 1st, 2012 was the right thing to do. Aside from Kayode, the NSA also said the same thing, that they knew it was purely political, but they went ahead anyways. And who are the people that were in front? Should I start calling them? Tunde, what's his name? Tunde Bakare, the pastor. El Rufai, your president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu. What's his name? Femi Falana. They were all there. So they knew that it was right, but they went ahead and did it. Truly, maybe I can follow what the last guy just said. Maybe we don't have nationalists. Nobody's patriotic to this country. Anyway, he says they fought him to score cheap political points. Then definitely Buhari and Tinubu just wanted power without knowing what to do with it. I'll tell you what, the guy that used to be the secretary for the what do they call them? The Northern Elders Forum. He now works. He's the brother to the vice presidential candidate for the Labour Party. I've forgotten his name. He now works with the vice president. I remember when I interviewed him 2 years ago, Buhari was still president, and he said to me, I'm going to look for that clip one day and play it back. You know me, I like to dig up things. And he said Buhari only wanted to be president because of power, that he fooled them, that they thought he was going to work for the people of Nigeria, including the North, because the North at the time was under heavy fire from, terrorists. And he said on national television that, look, Buhari failed us. He lied to us. He just wanted power. Could that be said for Mr. President today? This one says, thank God that this current president knows what is happening on ground. We don't want any excuses after 8 years. Okay. This one's from Lamre Bashir, and he says, I strongly believe that the Chief of Army Staff's call for a probe into the death of Okuama community leaders is a little too late. The question remains, where was he when the elderly individuals were being held in military custody without trial? It's essential to address the systemic issues that lead to or led to this tragedy, rather than just paying lip service to important national issues. Lamre, I totally agree with you, and that's why I'm saying maybe we're not pushing enough, because you see how we've all totally forgotten about what happened in Okuama. It could have been my community, it could have been your community, it could have been anybody, but we've just totally moved our attention away from it, and the army can get away with murder, using the word there loosely. This one says, the voice of the former minister saying that the politicians, deceive Nigerians is a fact, but what less to me. Does it mean that during this time in office, he didn't notice that they were deceiving Nigerians and would have made things right? It's now that he's out of office that he's saying this nonsense. It's only God that will liberate Nigeria. Zilman from Alaba sent us this message. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Whoever sent me that message. Hakim Baba Ahmed. Thank you. God bless you. That's the guy I was talking about. Yes. This one says, well, all foreigners should be given enough media coverage like their countries do to us. We need to reciprocate. I totally agree with you. They always make us to be the crime haven. We should let the whole world see them with their country name tag on them and make it viral. The next step is for our leaders to create jobs for the teeming population, build industries that can employ the youth. Olusoga, I agree with you to the point where you say our leaders, government is not supposed to give jobs. Government is supposed to create the enabling environment for jobs and businesses to thrive. Yes, government can maybe employ a few people, but they cannot employ everybody. So their job is to make sure that there are opportunities for businesses to thrive, for jobs to be created, but their mandate is not job creation. Just so we know. Okay. This one says, Dr. Mustafa Abubakar from Iyanashashi Badagry says, most food productive companies of our country aren't caring for the citizens' health, as they are only after their gains alone. They shouldn't worry, as the Antichrist is coming and approaching, where money won't be invaluable to people. By then, as the threats, they will blame themselves. Okay, I kind of understand what you're saying, that the day of reckoning will come for everyone. Steve Inijaniki says, until we stop pretending about running a true federalism, all stories about the killings of Okuama and similar events with the aftermath as we see today will just continue occurring and reoccurring. There have been a lot of oppressions of certain parts of the country for the pecuniary gains for some people, and we have been pretending about having one Nigeria. There are a whole lot of issues that must be corrected with a competent reset for us to live as one. Thank you, Steve. I think I'm pushed to want to continue to talk about this Okuama issue, because I remember I was talking about it over and over and over again, and the army just kept mute. Maybe this time we need to, shake the trunk until something falls off. Yeah? Are we game? I got 3 minutes on the clock before we go on our break, and then, of course, wrap things up. Don't forget, on the 4 o'clock hour, I promised that we're going to talk about the traffic situation in Lagos. On Community U Report, you can report anything. But on the 5 o'clock hour, we're going back to Rivers. Akpabio was in Rivers. Wike was in Rivers. He didn't celebrate his birthday in Abuja as the FCT minister. He went to Rivers State. And Akpabio did not keep his mouth shut. So my guest is joining me on the 5 o'clock hour. We're going to be talking about what's happening in River State still. This one says, Tari from Lekki, for the former governor of Edo State. Okay, let's see. That's not the message for today, Tari. Okay, he says, my take is this EFCC bust into a building in VI to arrest scammers. I hope they have done their due diligence to prosecute all of them. Then for Nigerian military, they have come again, as they have killed 2 of our own in our community. They will now not allow sleeping dogs lay down. For the bakers, since they can't force GMO, they are killing Nigerians with Bromate. Now, what for you? Ayadele here says, is there any regulatory body functioning? NAFDAC is just toothless. Have you seen how local breads are made or being produced? My dear. Bromate may not be the only harmful ingredient in the bread now. There is no human right in Nigeria. The army's probe will not bring back anyone from the dead. I feel you. Okwekende here says, on the death of leaders of that community is so sad. I urge the culprits to be brought to book, and it's this shame that most callers easily calling for justice, but then those military men who were killed, how many of the callers are calling for justice? Come on, don't blame anybody. Like I said, if you were listening to me, I don't like it when people just nitpick. Maybe you are a military person or you have a relationship with military people. Like I said, it's a dastardly act. But shall we do two wrong things to get even? I mean, it doesn't work. Yes, justice is supposed to take its course. But what do you think that what happened in Okuama, shutting down the whole community, was right and legal in a democratic system of government? Ask yourself that, please. Okay. This one says the Bromate issue is happening because NAFDAC is not carrying out its duties. The DG and all staff should wake up. Thank you, Chinedu. This one says, why is it that after the government officials leave office, they are now talking? They are all the same. It is well. Compliments of the season. Adebayo, thank you. Christopher here says, I think there should be a total dialogue between the soldiers and the people of Okuama community, else things may get worse. Anemeke Christopher, thank you for your message. I've got to go now because, of course, we're going to go on a break. And at the top of the hour, the news comes with Yvonne Ohaifo. But we're going to be talking about traffic as part of our Community You Report. All those people that say, my daddy, you need to come with me to Africa to see my daddy's place, or come see me how I have dirty December. You are blocking the road, sir. You are the problem. I just got in. We are not beefing you. I just a clear route for us.
Credible journalism, bridging the gap between people and those in authority. With Hard Facts, you are sure to get only the facts.
Tune in to Hard Facts with Maryann Okon on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Get breaking news, updates, and the best of talk.
We don't have to work twice, even thrice as hard for them to get things that just come so naturally to a lot of men who feel that leadership is their right.
We're in prisons for how many years? For 6 years, 8 months. Were you going to court from prisons then? Yes, but before I started court to talk, it took me 2 years. Just being in prison? Yes. Without your case even starting at all? Confinement. You were there? Yeah.
Here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Hard Facts. More conversation, more talk, more right after this. Lagos, are you ready for an experience like no other? Kickstart 2025 with a bang. It's the maiden edition of Drinks Fest Lagos, the Drinks Showcase. Happening on the 3rd and 4th of January 2025. Venue, Landmark Event Center, Victoria Island.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's